YouTube, what is up? It's a beautiful Sunday morning / afternoon here in Utah. It's been a while since I've done a YouTube video, and it's been a long time since I've done a car video. I love cars. If you guys know me in the channel, you know that I love cars and side-by-sides. I've been in the car business for like 27 years, and I've had the opportunity to drive pretty much every car out there, from the cheapest car to the most expensive, and I really enjoy automobiles. So today I want to talk about the 2022 BMW Ix 50. So this is the they have an M60 coming out, so I guess this is the middle of the range, but basically it's all the same. M60 is just like different software, but super cool car. I actually purchased this car. This is my car. I'm a big BMW fan, full disclosure. I've just always loved their automobiles, and having driven so many cars, like I just feel like BMW does it the best. They're close to the best. They're awesome. The Germans know what they're doing. They make some good cars. Yeah, so let's talk about the interior and exterior design on this car, and then we'll go for a fun drive and just kind of talk about the ownership of the car and the things I've liked and disliked over the last month of driving. I've put 2,300 miles on it, and I have absolutely loved the car. I'll just give you full disclosure. It is like incredible. It is the future, and it's just a technological, luxurious performance marvel of engineering, and the designers and the engineers should be very proud of this car. It's just incredible. So and let's talk about exterior design. Let's look at my spec. This is my MSRP here. So these are the things I chose. I pretty much got every option on the car. The only thing I didn't get was the Bowers and Wilkins system. Not typically a guy that would choose a black exterior color, but on these IXs, kind of to disguise the battery and like the size of the car, if you can see that little line there, all the way along the car to the back, that's black on every single car. No matter what color you get, you have this black kind of bow tie through the car as like a design feature. I think it looks good on other colors, but I really liked the solid black color. So it is sapphire black. You have two choices on trim. You have a kind of like a gloss black, or this titanium bronze, they call it, almost a gold. It is beautiful. On the interior that I chose, they had the titanium bronze accents. You couldn't change those, and I really thought it tied in well to do black with the titanium bronze. Let's talk about exterior design, like as far as like coefficient of drag and the things that they did. It is basically a big bubble. So this car is incredible. Has a 0.25 coefficient of drag. So I mean, incredible. Like a 911 is like a 0.32. I think Tesla has the best coefficient of drag on the Model S. I think it's like a 0.21, which is like freaking incredible. So really good. But for the size of this vehicle, absolutely amazing that they made it go through the air as good as they did. So with the Sport Pack, you get this kind of distinct bumper, and look at those aero aspects. Pulls it into that air curtain around the wheel, and gets rid of all that crappy airflow, that dirty air around that wheel. They also have similar stuff down here. You have active shutters, and you have ports when the shutters are closed that go around the brakes and the wheel and have good aerodynamics. And when it's open, it's cooling the battery going through and out underneath the undercarriage. It's incredible. It's incredible design. Nice flat front, but yeah, then it's a bubble, very rounded, very smooth car, coming all the way back even into these elements here, where they've designed it to kind of pull the air smoothly out and back in a wind tunnel. So no, it's just incredibly cool design. I've heard some people that are controversial in the looks. Personally, I think the car looks amazing. I love the way it looks, and I respect the engineering, the functionality of those looks. This car is super efficient, 3 miles per kilowatt on a car that's 5,700 pounds. It's not a light car. But considering it has a 111 kilowatt battery, which is huge, I would say they did a really good job with the weight and the efficiency of the car. It is just an awesome car inside and out. All the exterior lighting I love. So you have these beautiful door handles here. Won't freeze up in the winter like a Tesla. Handle comes out, won't come out, freezes up. So good design, nice and flat. You have a button, but you have all this lighting here. You can see it kind of on the floor. Sorry, it's a little bright, but you have exterior door lighting all the way around the car. Beautiful tail lights, headlights. It's just like an experience, even though like top, I wish it was darker here, but the door trim lights up. Like the lighting on the car is incredible. You've got these laser lights here. Oh, it's not a very good angle. Yeah, beautiful laser lights. I like these blue accents here. So you can either choose the laser lights or there's their regular LED light. I know in the US you don't get full functionality of the laser lights right now, but I've heard that they're going to change that. So you might later, or you might be able to code it yourself to get the full functionality, but lighting is incredible. Interior and exterior lighting, like 10 out of 10, like home run on this car. So really cool stuff. What else? So we've talked about efficiency, coefficient of drag. Let's take a look at the chassis. So they took what they learned with the i8 and i3 and they call this a carbon cage. So it's an aluminum unibody, basically, space frame aluminum unibody with a carbon cage on top of it, which is incredible. The design and like the exotic materials, I mean, this is like a step forward. That's what I love about, like, you know, mostly the Germans, to be honest. They really push technology and like are pushing their innovation and design, and I think it's just so cool. And these materials, they created this material. This is CHRP. They created this with Boeing. It cost like $4 billion to do this. It's like incredible technology, and I think BMW, as far as I know, is like one of the only manufacturers that does this. And so just really cool design. Really love the frameless doors you can see there. So really cool. You don't have this big thing over the door. It has a 3-seal system on the door. Inside the car when you're cruising, it is extremely quiet. It's crazy. You know, a lot of cars have dual pane windows. This does not, but it's still probably the quietest car I've ever been in. So really cool. Soft closed doors on the car. So you don't have to slam your door on a car that's $100,000. Like, come on, you can do soft closed doors. Everybody should do it. It's like you're paying that kind of money. You know, I think that's the cool thing too. Like, as much weight savings as they did in the car with all the carbon cage, they packed this thing full of luxury and technology, and it is incredible. Let's talk about the grille real quick before we go to the interior. So I have no problem with the grille. I think it looks good. You have all your sensors behind the grille. So I think it's really cool how they hit everything. They're heated, so even in the wintertime, you know, your sensors will always have good vision and work well. I like it. I like how they did that design. You know, they've got their special clear bar on it that's self-healing. You've got your cameras with washers. You have one front and back, 2 on the mirrors. Really cool. The camera quality in this car, the exterior cameras are the best I've ever seen. Like, it comes up on your screen and it's like HD. It is incredible. Same thing here. You've got your camera, you've got a washer that pops out there. Really, just like really cool little details that just make the car feel so special. All right, let's go in. Let's take a look at stuff in here. So this is the premium leather. They have 2 choices of premium leather. They have, in the US, they have black and red that you can get. I chose the red. I thought it looked just incredible. So I personally think it's worth paying the extra money for the premium leather. I think it was about $2,500. That's one of the most comfortable seats I have ever sat in. It is insanely good. It's a pleasure to drive this thing. I want to find excuses to just go on a drive in it. Just the comfort and luxury and technology in the car is incredible. I wasn't stoked on the headrest that doesn't move, but to be honest, after owning the car, I haven't even noticed. So the seat design is wonderful. Beautiful leather touches everywhere. So all your surfaces, your dash, your doors, your center console are just beautiful. So awesome place to be. Let's talk about the controls. Got two choices. You got crystal or just like a kind of a silver control or gold control. I went to crystals because you have in a package, it's in a package. So if you want soft closed doors, you got to get crystals. And honestly, everybody loves the crystals. They think they're awesome. It's like one of the first thing people say is like, oh, crystal. So it's kind of fun, and they are awesome. I like them too. I'm glad I got them. Here's your iDrive 8 screen. It's amazing. Everything works great. I can't find a whole lot of fault with it. You have quick buttons to get into your menus here. There's one here. There's a lighting menu down there. So they've really thought about the ways you'll access your information on iDrive 8. You have voice controls, you have gesture controls, you have quick menus, you can touch the screen. You have so many options to get to where you want to go. People that have complained about it, I would just say they just need to learn the technology. I mean, that's just bottom line. It's something new. So learn how to use it. Use the voice control, use the gesture control, use the quick menus, and I think you'll find that it's one of the best systems on the market today. Hexagonal steering wheel, works great, looks great, good vision of the display. Your display is all customizable. You have like 4 or 5 different settings on what information is relevant to you. I drove a Rivian recently, and I was asking the Rivian spokesperson what some of the things people were complaining about, and it was that they didn't have customization. They couldn't change what was on some of the screens, and BMW's done a great job of giving you that, and I think it is really cool. So man, just a good place to be. Super comfortable cabin, quiet, amazing sound system, 18 speaker hardened carbon sound system. You got to at least get the H&K stereo. It is incredible. I can't imagine how good the Bowers and Wilkins stereo is, because the H&K is mind-blowing. I freaking love it. So if you're just a crazy audio guy, go for the Bowers and Wilkins. But I'm telling you, the bass hardened carbon system is so good. I just don't know how the Bowers and Wilkins could be even that much better, because it's so dang good. So yeah, you have your center console down here. You've got a charge pad. You've got 2 USB C's right here. Really like this design. Super comfortable. There's all your crystal controls. Charge pad, not super stoked on. It just seems like, and it's not BMW specifically, it just seems like in general the charge pads on cars don't work that well. They don't charge your phone that fast, and they just get it hot. So not like a big deal to me to have that, but it is what it is. But they did think of convenient places to put your phone. So the driver has one here and the passenger has one there. So really, like, they just thought about so much stuff in the car, and it's just awesome. So let's see, what else? Oh, sunroof. So we'll get some more shots of the sunroof. But yeah, you have your big, huge sunroof. The whole top is glass, and then you have one button that can kind of turn it opaque. So if you don't want the light to come in, boom, push a button, light's gone. Awesome. Really, really cool design. Great places for cup holders and stuff. A couple of pockets. Another thing that's funny, anybody I give a ride, they always ask me how to get out of the car. Everybody's looking for a handle. There's no handle. It's just a button, and then you have a backup lever down here to get out. But again, one of those things that, like, the button works, it makes sense, it's super clean, but you're just not used to it. So yeah, really like it. Let's take a look at the back seat. Man, that's one thing I gotta say about this car. A lot of cars, like the front 2 seats, obviously that's like the focal point. They're amazing. The back seat in this car is amazing. Like, it is next level. If you can see there in the corner, they've even put a cushion and curved in the back seat. It feels like a couch back here. Absolutely incredible how well designed this interior is. It's so comfortable. 4 people, all your gear on a long road trip. There's no better place to be. Can I just say that? No better place to be than a BMW iX. If you're cruising on the highway, there's no car you'd rather be in than this car. It's incredible tool for transportation and luxury, and just, man, I love it. You've got charge ports back here for each side. You've got dual climate control for each person. You've got radiant heating. All right, I need to talk about the radiant heating. It heats up the door. It heats up this armrest here. Heats up the seats. Door here. In the front, same thing. Door panel, seat, steering wheel, center console, and also heats up under here. So under here for the driver and the glove box for the passenger. Incredible. Cocoons you in electric heat. Like, not only is that efficient, but it is like one of the standout features of this car that I absolutely love. Talk about luxury and just feeling spoiled. Everything you touch is just warm and nice. It's incredible. But let's talk about room back here. So comfortable. I don't know how to better describe it besides saying it's probably the best back seat that I've ever sat in. And the people in the back are just in total luxury. They can see all the screens. They have this beautiful sunroof that they get to enjoy. They've got power, they've got entertainment, they've got cup holders. I mean, it is incredible in here. So kudos to the interior designers of this car. Like, you've outdone yourself. It's just amazing. Amazing design. So I don't know if you can tell, but I like this car a lot. So let's take a look at the back. You got your kick sensor. Again, you can see the carbon cage here in the back around that aluminum space frame. You've got tons of cargo space. Like I said, there's no reason 4 people couldn't have all their gear in here and just be cruising in luxury for a fun weekend trip or wherever you want to go. Just awesome. A little more storage to where I keep the charger. You can put a few other things in there. Not huge, but nice to have it. Back seats. You have a button here, and you also have a button here. So, you know, for those Costco runs, you need to get into your seat quick. You've got 2 ways to get it, which is awesome. And you have a ton of space for anything you want to put in the car. Again, nice design. Really thoughtful design. 2 different ways to fold down the seats. Putting them back up is manual. So super cool. You can see that lighting they talk about. I wish I could show you like a night shot, but just incredible. All right. I think we talked about efficiency. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's go for a drive, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts on like just what it's been like to own it the past month and all the things I love about the driving of this car. And we'll talk about the performance and the steering and just all those cool things on a drive. Okay, be back in a sec. YouTube, what is up? You joined me inside the beautiful BMW iX. I am about to head up the canyon here in Utah, Provo Canyon. It's a beautiful day. Should be a fun drive. Just wanted to talk about all the things that I love about this car and kind of just give you my perspective over the last month of ownership. The first thing that I like is it has something called backup assistance. So let's say you have a tricky driveway or parking garage or, you know, parking spaces at work. The BMW records the way you entered your driveway or your garage or your parking space, and then you push one button and it will reverse that process. So I came in, I did a circle around this pole and parked the car, and now you just modulate the gas and the brake and it does the rest like magic. So it just records whatever track you took, and from my testing it's been very accurate and pretty amazing. And one of my favorite features, kind of like silly technology, but technology that works and makes your life super easy. So how cool is that? That is how I came in the parking lot today, and it just remembered my whole track and backed up in and did it in reverse. So really cool. Something I thought I'd show you. It's one of those things that you know, you don't think you're gonna care about, but once you use it a few times, you really, really like it. You know, they didn't used to have backup cameras on cars, and now it is like a standard feature. And anybody that comes and tries to buy a car from me wants a backup camera. So all these little technologies that BMW has put into the car that I just really, really enjoy. Another one would be the radio in this car is incredible. I can't really show you because then it'll get copyrighted, but trust me when I say one of the best sound systems you've ever heard. Okay, let's go up the canyon. Let's talk about like ride and performance. The BMW iX 0-60 in 4.5 seconds. Let me just say, after owning a ton of cars, super fast cars, I've been in a Plot, I've been in all these cars. You punch it a few times, you show your friends and neighbors and people that want to see the car, and then you're kind of over just like this crazy torque accelerating launch. It just, you want the car to have awesome performance, which it does, but I feel like in electric cars, the performance is the easiest thing to get. It's easy to make an electric car go fast 0 to 60. I want all the other refinements in an electric car. I want, you know, the steering feel, the luxury, the technology, the comfort, the ride comfort, you know, and just like the overall feeling of the car. So I appreciate this car is 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, but honestly, that's not the most important thing to me. You know, range, performance, ride comfort, they just all go together, and I'm glad. I feel like the iX is very balanced. It's very fast, but it's very balanced, and they didn't forget about all the other little stuff in the car. So ride comfort. You've got a couple different drive modes. You have like, I think it's personal, sport, and efficient. I pretty much always have it in personal. That's just like your comfort, your standard setting. When you put it into sport, it does, the seats hug you a little bit, and the suspension stiffens up, and it feels great. But in personal, we have a few bad roads that I'll go test the cars on, and my brother-in-law, which owns a Model X, was blown away how much better the iX went over the road, the same road he drives home on every day, than his Model X. And it really is exceptional ride comfort. It has great feel and road presence, but they did not compromise on ride comfort and quality. And that's one thing I love about BMW. I don't feel like they don't compromise. I feel like that's why it's the ultimate driving machine, is because they can give you that sporty feel, but they don't compromise on your comfort. I've driven a Mustang Mach-E. It actually feels very sporty. It's a good car for the money, but because they tried so much to make the electric car feel sporty, it definitely is not as good on the comfort level. It's not as comfortable to be in, and this car is just a pleasure to be in. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm hoping you can hear how quiet it is in the car, and just the ride comfort is just next to it's the best I've ever felt. It's just great. You've got four-wheel steering in the car. It makes this big SUV feel smaller, which I like. You know, like I said, this has so much utility. 4 adults can take a trip in this thing. All your gear, be in comfort, and with that four-wheel steering, you just have such ease of parking and utility, which I really, really like in the car. As soon as we get some open road, I'll throw it in sport mode and show you a few things. But yeah, just a little construction today. Just great. Steering feel is good. I forgot to talk about the navigation. Navigation is really cool. It does 3D augmented reality navigation. So you have it in your heads-up display. You have it here. It turns on the camera and gives you live arrows of where to go. If you get lost with this navigation, you've got some problems. Man, what else? Yeah, just comfort of the seats in this thing. Just cruising is just awesome. Great visibility, great seating position. Like, you're sitting a little higher in the car, but BMW did a really good job of, like, even though you have this gigantic screen in front of you, it's kind of lower in the middle of the car, and you really are just looking through, and it's not really, I don't know, it's not super distracting. I really like the layout. The heads-up display, Really cool how they integrated in the dash. You don't even know that it's there. So you have this beautiful heads-up display, but unlike other cars where you see this big hole, you can't even tell where they put the display in the car, and it is just incredible. But last night I charged it to 100%. Based off my driving, it said I had 350 miles of range when I woke up this morning and took a look at it. And I think that's accurate. And I've been driving it normal. I've been driving it like I would drive any other car, mixed driving, freeway, city, commuting, like the whole deal. And the range is incredible. 5,700 pound car with 105 usable kilowatts and the battery getting 350 miles of range. I'm sure that'll go down on a long highway trip at higher speeds, but on average, 350 miles on my average driving it's incredible. It's just a testament to all the aerodynamic work they did on the car and all the efficiency in the motors and the battery. It's just great. It's just great. So range, charging's good. Charges at 48 amps, so I think it's like 11.8 kilowatts an hour or something like that. So if it's completely empty and you're on a level 2 charger and you have a good level 2 charger, make sure it's a 48 amp charger. You're going to charge in about 10 hours. You should have this thing full in 9 or 10 hours. Used to do that. Being a little crazy on his bike today. Everybody wants to get out. It's a beautiful day today. Yeah, so really good charging. Fast charging network here in the US is Electrify America. You get 2 years of free charging. I've used it a couple times just for fun to test it. It's good. 10 to 80%, they say like 30-40 minutes. I think that's accurate. I tested it. I think the highest I saw was about 150 kilowatts an hour on the charger. They say it will go up to 195, I believe, which is really good. I think Electrify America's network is pretty good here in the States, and the charging infrastructure is actually pretty good. There's a lot of stations around. You know, 5% of the time I'll be on the road using the charge network, and it is, you know, it is important. I want to have infrastructure there so I can take it on a trip, because like I said, this is probably one of the best places to be on a longer road trip. But I don't know, that's not the number one thing for me. I think Tesla's network is probably still the best network, but it's getting really crowded. You know, Tesla sold a lot of cars, and I don't know if their network can keep up with all the car sales they've done. So there is that going for it. So yeah, I think the charge network works good. It charges fast on DC charging. It works well on level 1 and 2 charging. Actually, level 2, definitely level 1 for this size battery is going to be really long. So definitely who would recommend level 2. It is probably a must. Yeah, let's see what else. It does have a route planner. You know, the big thing with charging electric vehicles is you need to have your battery at the right temperature, not too hot, not too cold. And the BMW, if you put in your destination and you plan your charging stops, it'll make sure the battery is at a more optimal temperature, so it will take that charge better. So, all right, let's throw it in sport mode and do a little bit of driving. So acceleration is incredible. One thing I think the Germans have done better than some of these other cars is they've really, it doesn't slow down. I know some of the first Teslas and stuff that I drove, they were really good to 60, and then they started just really falling on their face, like really bad. This car, already going 70, just flies. You know, there's 70 to high speed very quickly, very smooth. BMW did an excellent job on like the throttle and brake tuning. So they have what's called adaptive regenerative braking, and it's really cool. So it basically coasts. It's like an assisted coasting, and then it uses your radar guided cruise sensors or your driver's assist sensors. And if you're coming up on a car or some kind of obstacle, it will kind of start feeding in the regenerative braking like slowly. So it's adaptive. You have to get used to it, but it makes more sense to not have to sit there and modulate your right foot as much. Let it coast and then start bringing it in when it knows you're going to need to slow down. So really brilliant. Again, another thing that just sets the BMW apart from other automakers when it comes to electric cars. So their tuning is really good. Their throttle pedal and their brake pedal tuning is the best I've ever felt. It really feels like a regular car. I've had a lot of people that have driven electric cars. I've taken them for a ride for the first time. They've gotten kind of seasick, basically, because you have this motion of hard acceleration, and they're bad modulating the throttle pedal, and then it regens and it feels like somebody's pulling you from behind, and they're getting this like seasick motion while they're driving the car, and this does not do that. So just so you know, if you've ever had a problem in an electric car with that type of stuff, you will not get that in the iX with the adaptive braking. It just coasts. My foot's off the brake, I'm not on cruise control, and the car is just coasting freely. So really, really good tuning. I don't know how to better explain it, but it's fast, but extremely smooth fast. There's no jerkiness to this car. It just cruises effortlessly with tons of performance, and just, man, you gotta give the engineers props for how well they did the tuning on the acceleration and braking. Just incredible. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about driver's assistance stuff. So you have radar guided cruise control. You have active lane keeping. It'll make automatic lane changes for you. I would say it is the best self-driving on the market besides Tesla. Tesla does a really good job with their software and tech, and their self-driving is still probably the best right now. But they don't use, I think it's like the LiDAR sensor anymore, and I know that some people have complained about false alerts and this and that, and so I don't know, this is a very close second, let's call it that. I think Tesla, they just have a little more time with it, and they're probably the best right now, but it's way good in this car, and definitely it's not something I would choose a Tesla over this because theirs is a little bit better. This is really good self-driving technology, works well, very smooth. Yeah, I love it. They have a couple like cool things with your set button. You can kind of put in your presets, like I like to go 8 miles over the speed limit, so every time I push set, once it sees the sign, you have your camera that sees your traffic signs. It'll pull up on your dash. If the traffic sign says 45 and you press set, it automatically is going to go to 53. So really cool tuning on that. It works extremely well. Not too annoying on the steering wheel, like holding your steering wheel. You just have to have a little bit of actual, like a squeeze. It's not like some of the sensors for the self-driving, the safety sensors, you have to sit there and turn it. This one is just, you have to have a little bit of pressure on it and just give it a squeeze, and it will do its thing. So really, really cool stuff. I think they did a good job with this technology, and they're just getting better and better and better. Every time I get in a new generation of the BMW self-driving, it's just that much better. I think one thing I will say about this self-driving over Tesla is, you know, BMW is not willing to let their customer be a beta tester. They're not going to release, I think they have technology to make this even more advanced by far, but they're not going to release it until it complies with regulations and is actually safe for you to use. You know, Tesla should have never called their stuff autopilot. That was a mistake. It is a driver's assistance system, and you definitely need to be present in the car when you're using it. So yeah, I trust BMW. They make a safe car, and they're not going to put me in any danger at all with their system. So cool. What else? So yeah, ride comfort, amazing. Safety systems are amazing. Steering feels amazing. Ride quality is probably the standout feature of this car. Ultra quiet. Man, I just love it. I just love it. You know, my favorite road trip car before the iX was probably in an S-Class. An S-Class was probably like the best car you could take on a road trip, and I think I would rather be in this now. And for me, a lot of my destinations with how much range this car has now, I mean, you always want more. If you could have 500 miles of range, that'd be great. But most of the places I'd go here in Utah would be like Moab, There's a place called Lava Hot Springs. There's like Wendover. There's St. George. Literally all those places are now within range where I wouldn't even have to stop until I got to my destination. So it's impressive. It's impressive range. I just can't say enough about it. It's just really, really good. So, what else? So yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, the sunroof. I love the sunroof, the lighting. I don't know. If you guys can think of any questions you have for me, let me know. But it's a great car. It's a great car. It's a good value. Again, I'm going to compare it to Tesla because they have done really good with their vehicles. A Model X with full self-driving in the US is $142,000, roughly. Spec'd like this one is spec'd, with similar stuff. It's $142,000. A BMW iX in this spec is $100,000. You get $7,500 tax credit, which Tesla doesn't get. So you're basically around $93,000 for this car. So you're literally almost $50,000 cheaper than a Model X. And it's definitely better than a Model X in almost every way. So that's what I'll say as far as value. It's not a cheap car, but if you're looking for a car in this price range, I don't think you can beat it. I mean, I just don't. I don't think you can beat it. There's no way. I'd be very surprised if you put a Model X and an iX next to each other and you drove them both and you chose the Model X for 50 grand more. It just won't. Tesla is raising their prices. BMW has created a really high quality vehicle at an amazing value. Like I said, I know it's not a cheap car. It's an expensive car. Hopefully these electric car prices will keep coming down and everybody can get one. They're great to have one. It's not the end all. I like my diesel trucks. I like a fun sports car. But as an everyday car or a traveling car, man, I love owning a sweet electric car like this. It's incredible. So yeah, good value. It really is great value. They're really coming, and I think the new CEO of the company has done a really good job, and they're just creating some amazing products. So if you haven't had a chance to check out some of these new electric cars like the BMW X, I recommend to go check them out. They're cool. This is an unsolicited review. I love this car and I want to share it with you, and I appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks.